Hey, True Conceivers, this is Dave.
And this is Terrance.
And on this episode of the Heroic Origins podcast, we're in story mode.
And
we'll be outlining a 6-issue story arc using our most recent characters. We're going to randomly choose story elements for each issue, then see where we can take our intrepid protagonist. Each issue will get a 5-minate brainstorming period, plus a 5-minute revision period at the end.
Now get ready. It's collaborating time.
Doom doom dooba dooba dooba. But hey, we're gonna start by reviewing the character that we came up with. Do you want to pull up the picture?
Oh man, I wanted to tweak it more, but
well, you don't have to. This is now. I had a different one, but Terrance had this was his vision from the live draw, which was our last episode, if you remember that. Last week we actually sat down and did our first live drawing episode where we sat down and actually sketched out some designs for the character. And while we look at the character here, let me read off our description of the character. Millennia ago, the Clavis, a being of immense power and import, objected to a cosmic conflict that threatened all reality. Clavis chose to hide rather than allow their power to be used in an unjust war. With an appearance frightening to most mortals, they took on the form of Harper Keyes, an unremarkable Idaho locksmith. Stuttering and shambling from job to job, Harper fixes many locks, but is the key to secrets coveted across the cosmos.
So yeah, you would have seen me drawing this up and coloring it through on Twitch over the past week, little bits and pieces. And I only did the monstrous form, so I do not have a Harper Keyes for drawing.
And next time I'll be better about having my character, because I drew a Harper Keyes.
I could let me see if I can find my.
But what's your handle on Twitch, Terrance?
Oh, it's the Heroic Origins.
It's called Heroic Origins. Okay,
we're Heroic Origins on Twitch as well. Yes.
Is it the Heroic Origins podcast?
I don't think I had podcast on there. Let me.
Come on.
I would have to open it up again to double check. I'm pretty sure it's just Heroic Origins.
Consistency of branding, Terrance. That's what it's all about. Okay, well, but you're not here to hear about the behind the scenes talk. You're here to listen to us as we brainstorm some story ideas for this character.
All right.
So let's bring up our timer, because we're gonna get going here in a second. We're gonna have 5 minutes, and let's bring up. Are you trying to show?
Yeah, I was trying to find my version of the human version, because I kind of drew them on top of each other.
Yeah, that's not bad. Well, it's the whole point is that Clavis is an unremarkable Idaho. Right. Harper Keyes is an unremarkable Idaho locksmith. So all of you out there, imagine what an Idaho locksmith would be like. Presumably they would have locks made out of potatoes and keys made out of French fries.
Wait, see.
I'm sorry. Once again, I'm working with stereotypes about Idaho.
If I could remove every single layer.
What? I think we should. Why don't we? Is it? We kind of saw the character.
I think
Oh, there is that amazing hairstyle.
There you go.
Admittedly, there is an amazing hairstyle. Oh, that's not as amazing. That's not as amazing as it was last week.
Is it not?
No. What did you do? You made. There's a bald spot for first off.
It's a shiny spot. It's not bald.
It was like an amazing mop of hair last week. This person looked shaggy and diseased. Okay, just get rid of that. Get rid of that.
All right. So that is my picture of Clavis. You can there.
But we need to get our timer on here. Let's get our timer up.
So let's pull up that timer.
We don't want to start the timer quite yet. Actually, I guess we want to get everything into position properly here. Shifting around this stuff is a little bit more difficult than it should be. Okay, so we've got 5 minutes on the clock, starting now.
All right.
Well, we've got some randomized elements here. So a random plot element. A character gets exactly what they deserve. Yeah?
Okay.
You okay with that?
Just kind of like this is. Well, we do have some characters in Clavis's life. I guess that's we can support.
That's true. We do have supporting characters.
So,
let's see. We have
the obnoxious boss.
Okay, a random character. What does it say? Character element. Someone has a change of heart.
Okay.
Hey, this is. We could get our random elements in different ways.
Yeah, no.
I wanted to use my
I like your
storytelling game. All right, and the setting element is insert a commercial establishment into the story.
Well, the locksmith.
It's a locksmith thing, so it automatically is there.
Yeah. All right.
So,
all right. So that almost writes itself.
So this is issue one. So, okay. So, I would think a character gets exactly what they deserve. So, someone has okay.
I think we're talking about the obnoxious boss, and then the change of heart. It's a turnaround where maybe they don't end up with getting the shorts.
I think it should be more. I think it should be more of a slice of life story.
Okay.
Sort of like this is an example of a typical Harper Keyes day.
Right.
And it would be so we would see, we would have the obnoxious boss, also what were the other supporting characters we had?
We just had an apprentice, and I guess we have shopkeeper. I don't know if that was another.
Oh yeah, the shopkeeper. Yeah, that was the person who they would get the supplies from, right? Okay. So there's an apprentice. So actually, it kind of seems like, this is not the origin story, right? Obviously,
right.
We're doing a.
No, there's no origin story. I feel like that's a long and involved history that takes millennia.
I think a natural thing for a first an issue would be that the apprentice is introduced. Like Harper Keyes is this quiet, unassuming locksmith with a stutter, doesn't like to interact with people, but the obnoxious boss decides to say, you're going to take on an apprentice. We have an apprentice. You're going to have to spend time with this person.
Can we make the apprentice like the obnoxious boss's nephew or something like some nepotism there? Like you're gonna you're my best locksmith. You're taking on this. You better be good to him.
We could do that.
Yeah.
Is that what you want?
Yeah.
Okay. Apprentice.
How does this 5 minutes work We are running dangerously low on time.
Well, it's got to be okay. So we introduced the apprentice, so the story has to be about the apprentice.
Right.
Well, we have a 5-minute revision period at the end.
Okay.
Maybe we should be picking the elements before we start the 5-minute brainstorm.
Maybe, yeah.
We'll do that for the next. We'll give ourselves. How about? Hold on. We can actually fix this.
We can pause the time, I guess.
Oh, we've suddenly got 3 minutes left.
All right.
Okay, so, so the apprentice is assigned to Harper. Apprentice is okay. The nephew to obnoxious boss.
Are we gonna get?
That doesn't mean the apprentice is obnoxious.
No, it doesn't mean but they're. They are supposedly getting, if things go wrong with the apprentice, it's doubly bad.
Yeah. So apprentice is nephew to obnoxious boss. Okay, so someone has a change of heart. So maybe it's like the apprentice has been poisoned, kind of thinks that Harper's is a waste of time or something. But or maybe thinks that because if you got a stutter and stuff, somebody might think that you're mentally challenged or something like that.
Well, could Harper think that the boss is just like an overblown bully forcing them, trying to just get secrets, and then the change of heart is, actually is a caring family man, and is actually just taking care of this nephew who, like, his whole family just died of COVID or something.
That's not a first. I wouldn't want that in the first story. I can see that maybe being like 6 stories in.
Okay.
I mean, I can see, because that's like we want to have J. Jonah an irredeemable J. Jonah.
That's true. We want to build him up to be a jerk for a long time. Yeah.
But I like the apprentice may think that Harper is like. Well, does the apprentice find out that Harper's this other cosmic being?
That could be that would be a
change of heart. It's like thinks that this is kind of a mentally challenged or not very smart person who does locksmithing, but it actually finds out that
he's like, wielding all this other power and ability.
Yeah. So they actually go on a thing. They actually do find some sort of evil demon that's trying to come through somebody's basement door or something like that.
Okay. So who's the character that gets exactly what they deserve, though?
I think it's the demon. Well, the idea is they go to somebody. Somebody is complaining about their door, some lock to their basement, and when they go to explore the basement, they find that there's actually a portal to, some sort of demonic realm, and there's a demon that's been sneaking out, of this unlocked door and wreaking havoc. And so the apprentice is forced. I mean, the Harper is forced to turn into Clavis. The apprentice finds out and suddenly thinks, "Oh, this is not some dim-witted locksmith. This is actually a super powerful creature." And then they together they team up to lock this demon in the basement. And so the demon gets what they deserve.
I think that's the story.
All right, let me write it down real quick. Here, talk to the audience while I write this down, Terrance.
Well, I don't know what I could possibly say more. I mean, that filled up the whole.
Talk to them about Twitch.
About Twitch, what can I say? I'd like to get on there and just draw. I've been doing my art. This month being Inktober, it's going to be a fun month of just drawing. I listen to some music and draw, and I decided that for Inktober, I was going to take every prompt and basically weave a story with a new character and play with that, just making it like it's some sort of wizard war where they are encountering something different every day, and I will maybe at the end of it try to write an entire narrative that makes sense. So,
all right. So anyway, Harper reveals a Clavis form, and with the apprentice is help. They banish the demon in to the basement forever.
Or back to their dimension would make more sense.
The basement dimension.
The basement dimension.
Well, no, that could actually be the name. They could call it the basement dimension going forward.
Actually, that is kind of funny. I like that.
Yeah. Okay, so there we go. All right. Okay, for the next one, let's get our plot elements and stuff before we start timing.
Yes.
All right. So that's issue 1. That's issue 1 right there.
Can we name anyone, or is that like?
We'll do that. Let's wait for the revision period.
I was just gonna say, it's immaterial really to the story, but I was just curious if we could just name
the characters' names.
Yeah, that's all.
Yeah, we can. We got. I think we need to go through this. I mean, if it comes out easily, then let's do it. But let's focus on plot. That's really what this is about. Okay, so plot elements. A group is infiltrated. Okay, character element. Someone has an epiphany. These are so generic. And okay, well, this one's easy. Setting element. Insert a character's workplace into the story.
All right.
Easy peasy.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
let's. Oh no! Did the clock automatically disappear when it ended?
Oh no!
Oh, I hate having to reset this. Let's see. This is not the way it's supposed to be. No.
We're getting there.
Okay, well, all of our hours of practice on managing this, it's been for naught. Okay, hold on here. I don't like the way this is. Squeeze that in there. Okay. All right, so we got to start that clock again. Are we ready to go?
You ready? Yeah.
I think we're ready. Let's do it.
All right. You're gonna start it? Want me to start it?
Why don't you start it?
Boom. All right.
Okay, so the group is infiltrated. Someone has an epiphany. Insert a character's workplace. So obviously, the story starts back at we should maybe introduce the shopkeeper at this point.
Well, I was going to say we could introduce the shopkeeper, and maybe they have a new. Maybe they have someone enter in through that way, but I think this is where you also introduce, that Clavis is on the run, is hiding out. So you have a villain trying to get to Clavis at this point. So you get that aspect of their personality, of their character.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So okay, so is the shopkeeper so we meet the shopkeeper. I think we decided previously that the shopkeeper is Harper's friend, but are we suggesting that by the end of
end of this story, they're friends?
Oh, but it could maybe, or what if they start off as friends, but then we reveal by the end of the story that the shopkeeper is actually possessed by somebody who's trying to hunt down Clavis?
What if the shopkeeper is actually another entity that's just like, oh, you know what, that has the epiphany that, oh, if someone does get hold of the Clavis, then that will be the end of civilization, reality, whatever it was.
Well, does Clavis know that the shopkeeper is an entity?
Well, I would say, I think if the group is infiltrated, it's infiltrated by somebody seeking that power, right? That is.
What if? So there's a new person on stage. Boy, if we introduce, I guess it kind of in spirit, whoever we introduce has to kind of be the infiltrator, right?
Yeah. But it could be, starting
no
off.
Bells ringing, but I ain't getting it.
It could start as a bad guy who, maybe we'll see what happens in the next couple issues, but could holds off on for whatever reason holds off on revealing everything to Clavis initially. So it is infiltrated, but not necessarily that it
well, but the shopkeeper, I think we've decided that the shopkeeper is an entity.
Yes.
not a regular shopkeeper.
Right.
And it is a shopkeeper that's looking for Clavis, but may not realize. So what if the shopkeeper may not realize that Clavis is Harper?
What if they think it's the apprentice?
Oh, that would be interesting.
Yeah.
Um,
So they have
okay,
the,
so the shopkeeper is that's interesting. Okay, so how does that? So what's the epiphany? The epiphany though is that so the apprentice is okay. So the shopkeeper, because of the materials that they're asking for,
hmm
deduces that one of them is the Clavis, but because the stuff hasn't really started until the apprentice came on board, all the like demonic shenanigans and stuff, that they assume that it's the apprentice that's the source of that stuff.
Okay. I can, yeah.
So okay, so the shopkeeper is okay.
Let's
Interesting.
say the shopkeeper is actually, who opened the basement dimension. just to ferret out the
cosmic entity who had opened the basement dimension out Clavis.
Yeah.
Out Clavis now thinks the Clavis is the apprentice, not Harper. Shopkeeper is good friend of Harper. Do they like have a barbecue or something? They would hang out, watch sports. What do they do? So what's the something has to happen though? There has to be another
something that happens and
so maybe it's if the shopkeeper if the shopkeeper's orchestrating this, then maybe the shopkeeper gives them materials that affect things. We probably need to do research into what kind of materials you'd have at a shop for keys. I mean, obviously there are keys, there are locks.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, you've got little mechanical things and screws and doorknobs and deadbolts and
there's so boy, we're running out of time. Is 5 minutes enough time? But I would say that the shopkeeper gives them some sort of magical item that wreaks havoc. They solve that havoc, and then that leads them to believe it's the apprentice.
Right.
Okay, I'm going to write that down.
Oh, clock stopped again.
Magic piece of equipment, and which wreaks havoc. Wreaks havoc. Is that WREAK?
Yes. Right.
Wreaks havoc, which Harper and apprentice solve, leading shopkeeper to think apprentice is the Clavis. All right. Okay. These are out. We're going to have a revision period later on. Okay, let me pull the plot elements over, the randomized plot elements. Okay, for issue 3. Okay, whoops. Hello. Okay, the plot point of issue 3 is that a situation is resolved by forces beyond the character's control. Okay. And the character element is introduce a mentor. That's interesting. And the setting element is insert an unusual object into the story. I feel like these would have been useful elements in the first 2 issues, since we went that direction. All right, are we ready to start the clock?
We can. I can't move any of our windows.
Well, I know it's a pain in the butt. You have to move it to a person. It will not move it, and then you have to move the outline in place of a person. So it's weird. I find that functionality to be aggravating. All right, hit the clock. We're starting.
All right, here we go. I didn't even really hear you because I was messing around too much.
Well, the plot element is the situation was resolved by forces beyond the character's control. So there's an outside element. We're going to introduce a mentor, and then we're going to insert an unusual object into the story. So this is the thing. It's like the mentor is Harper. The unusual object, we could just have another unusual object given by the shopkeeper. How does that sound?
The situation is resolved by forces beyond the character's control, though. Like, what is that? Is it maybe the villain stops their own demon or whatever?
Well, it could be. Well, I mean, to me, that means almost like either. I mean, it could be a godlike power, but we're already dealing with godlike powers. That doesn't feel like outside of the character's power. To me, it feels like it would be something by chance. Like, what if there was a
lock breaks or a key breaks?
Well, something, it would be something like that, like, or like a timer goes off, or somehow, or like there's just a car accident, I mean, something random like that.
Wait, is Harper actually the mentor, though? I mean,
well, it says introduce mentor, so is there a mentor to?
Yeah, I feel like Harper's just trying to be is reluctant in all of this. I feel to a degree.
Well, does Harper have a mentor? Is there somebody who got Harper into this business? I mean, Harper must have. There's probably other people that, like Harper, may have had some ally that got them into human society or something.
Well, that's right. We did say at one point that they would need some manner of people who established them as a human before they could really. So a mentor, like the human mentor, like how to be a human.
So what if it's the human mentor, which is let's say that he unofficially calls him uncle or grandfather or father.
Leslie.
Maybe actually it'd probably be what?
Leslie. I'm giving a name.
Oh, you want to have a real name, okay? But what's the relationship? What's the relationship? Is it the person like a what's their cover relationship? Is it like an uncle?
That would be like nephew and uncles doubled in our little show.
Oh, that's true. So that's anyway. It's just it's an old friend. Okay, old friend Leslie.
Right.
Friend Leslie, but let's say old friend Leslie asks, is basically makes a call for a locksmith asking specifically for Harper, but it's actually a deeper problem, right?
Yes, there you
go. So Leslie calls on Harper to fix, another demonic.
Yeah.
Or maybe in this case it's an angelic opening. Should we do that? What if that's there's actually an angelic presence in the area that's looking for him. And of course, these angels and demons are not. We don't know that they're really angels or demons.
Right.
But to fix it,
I keep thinking of a locksmith like a plumber, and I want it to be something in a bathroom. I don't know why. I'm equating the two.
Yeah, that's not a plumber.
Yeah. You can have a broken bathroom lock.
Basically, there's an angel that's come looking. There's an angel or some sort of angelic being came looking for Clavis. So the Leslie is saying, hey, they're getting close to you. It could actually be the shopkeeper.
I mean, the shopkeeper is pushing things. And so it's like, this is somebody who's aware that things are happening in more places than Clavis has, even been to. So,
I mean, the implication is that they're bearing down. They're almost there. So, so then I kind of feel like the situation resolved by powers beyond the character's control. Then something has to lead these angels away.
Right.
Basically say,
Could that be the mentor doing something?
Well, it could be something that it could be, but something that misdirects them. I mean, it could be an accident. It could be something that just sort of implies, oh, well, the angels actually, Clavis is in a different.
An act of God.
Well, I think it's it would. I mean, that's one way to think of it, but I don't think it should be a literal act of God.
Could it be like a tornado or something? Do they have tornadoes in Idaho?
Angelic being who came looking for Clavis. Insert an unusual object into the story. Oh, what's the object at least? Give us the object. What's an unusual object? A banana.
A sewer grate.
Great. Okay. 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 So well, we know that there's some sort of active God misdirects hunter angels, agnals from Clavis. Okay. Okay. So we know that he's being hunted now. We've established that. That's pretty good, I think.
All right.
We can fix this later. Okay. All right. Let's get some random elements for the next section.
All right. This is not a smooth story, I gotta say. This one seems much tougher.
Our practice session went a heck of a lot smoother. That's okay. We'll get the hang of it. It may have been the last one. I remember the last one going the practice one going really smooth.
Yeah, it just everything was just like bang, bang, bang. Yeah.
Okay, the plot element is a clue is found or a discovery is made. Mm-hmm. Okay, for the next and for the character element, we introduce a villain, which we don't really have like a arch villain or anything like that. Let's see.
Is the shopkeeper a villain per se?
I think that's unknown at this point.
I think of the shopkeeper as a frenemy so far.
I think so. Well, I mean, it's it's an investigator, right? He's basically somebody who's trying to hunt down. We know people are looking for the Clavis, not necessarily for ill intent,
Okay.
All right. So, okay, I think we're ready. If you want to hit the clock.
Oh wait, insert a character's home into the story.
All right. Yeah, sorry, that was the final. Yeah. Okay.
Clavis at home. That's a good question.
All right. Did you hit the clock? Let's hit the clock here.
Let's start it.
It did?
No, I did not.
Okay. Okay, so a home. I mean, that actually. Well, what if the shopkeeper, since the shopkeeper and we could actually have like a barbecue at the owner's house, right?
Would he? Yeah. Heavy metal barbecue.
Oh, that's right. We decided the owner was like an old hair metal fan, right?
Yeah. His nephew's name should be like Axel.
Wait, you mean that the boss's name should be Axel?
No, the nephew. Named after somebody. So.
Okay, nephew equals Axel.
Yeah.
What's the?
Although I guess is that too much Thor: Love and Thunder now?
No.
Is that killed it?
Hair metal barbecue. House.
What if the villain is like? What if we just do something silly and the villain is like a rival locksmith?
Oh, I think that'd be great because it's an employee thing. So rival. I think that's perfect. Rival locksmith makes fun, and makes fun of Harper.
Yeah. There you go.
Oops. Makes fun of Harper because again, it's like he has a stutter, so it's like they're going to
socially,
with it or something, and kind of a recluse and stuff.
Yeah.
So in fact, it occurs to me that they probably had to coax Harper to show up, right? Probably the shopkeeper. I'm thinking the shopkeeper and the apprentice might have. Well, actually, the apprentice knows his identity at this point, right?
Right.
So,
right.
But the shopkeeper probably coaxed him because they're buddies, right?
Could it be something where it's required because the boss is obnoxious?
Sure. That actually
I'm having a party and everybody better be there.
Required. It's a mandatory party.
Yeah, it's mandatory.
Is this like a Christmas party or was it? I don't know. I think there needs to be a pool though. It's a mandatory party. It's probably like the birthday of Kip Winger.
Actually, I kind of like. What if Axel is Kip instead? Kip sounds like a sidekick name.
Okay, that sounds good to me. Well, the father's name would be Axel.
So yeah, let's make but this is his. What we don't have the boss's name still.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. Rival locksmith makes fun of Harper. Mandatory party. Okay, what's the meat of the story though? What's an interesting? I like how the timer is constantly loading. What happens at the party? They got to lock something. They got to do something. Well, the shopkeeper. This is the thing. The shopkeepers suspects the apprentice is Gladys, but then the shopkeeper is the friend of Harper. So does the shopkeeper do something to try to get the apprentice to reveal itself as Gladys?
Maybe trying to make some sort of food-borne eel. So I'm imagining like eels. I don't know. I watched this thing on hammerworms, and I don't know, maybe some sort of thing in the barbecue sauce, or
I think
not a poison, but something that would react.
Well, I'm thinking like, well, what has to do with locks and keys? I mean, is there any there's a gate? I mean, there's probably a gate. This is a gated place. There's probably fences, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's probably a gate, and maybe there's maybe there are dogs. Maybe the boss has a bunch of pit bulls or Doberman Pinscher or whatever Rottweilers that are protecting the place. They have these really fearsome Rottweilers, and there's some other wolves or something that are trying to get through the gates. I don't know where the poison comes in. I don't know how the poison.
I was just saying maybe there's some way that they that the shopkeeper is trying to reveal, and since they're at a barbecue, something that was just everybody, slip something into their drinks, that sort of thing,
But what would be something that would get somebody to out themselves as a hiding?
Well, something that would just reveal their nature, just like break their disguise.
So it'd be like a magic potion?
Yeah, some sort of, yeah. I mean, these entities are beyond.
Shopkeeper gives apprentice a magic potion, but it has a different effect because, of course, the apprentice is not.
Right.
Magic potion to force reveal secret identity. But it has some other demonstrative effect. Okay, I can see that. It's like it's supposed to reveal the identity, but it instead, acts like PCP and the apprentice.
That's what I'm thinking. It's going to be like this really awesome metal party from that point on.
We got to stop the clock here.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay, so we're getting a story. That's issue 4, dude. I think we got. It's like we're. It's not deep on detail, but we've got ourselves some interesting stuff going on here. Okay. All right. So, for issue 5, let's get our random.
Can you add kick-ass metal barbecue from that point on? I know that the timer's over, but
wait, what do you mean?
I don't want that detail to be lost.
Kick-ass. What do you mean? Because it was already a metal barbecue. What do you mean?
Yeah, but now it's going to be a kick-ass metal barbecue because everybody's been dosed with whatever psychotic thing the shopkeeper has given them.
So it's interesting. So the idea is people will pass off any weird stuff as psychedelic stuff.
Yeah.
Party, very psychedelic. Okay. Plot elements for 5. Let's see. We're gonna have. Okay. Someone is deceived. Is the plot element.
Someone is deceived.
Okay. Introduce a family member.
Well, I guess it doesn't have to be his family member.
Yeah, it doesn't. It can be any of them. Yeah.
Right.
Insert a character into the justice system.
I tried to get your attention to.
Right.
So that with door.
we're recording right now.
Why is there something that says 5 minutes and 0 seconds?
Because that's what we're going to use to count down.
What?
That's our timer. Because we're doing a little show right now.
So is this the show now?
Oh, I think your mother's calling you to. Yeah. Okay, close that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Apparently, it's tougher to close than you think. All right. Okay. So, all right, we got some. Okay, so we got plot element. We got someone is deceived. Introduce a family member and insert a character into the Justice Center. Things are getting real. All right, let's hit the clock, Terrance.
Huh. Okay. So, sorry. I'm like, just, that's a messy one. Right before the final issue, too.
Oh, this is perfect. It's actually perfect timing. So this is, so I think the Justice System, the family member part's easy. Someone's deceived. There's someone being deceived every issue.
Yeah. But is this where the shopkeeper is revealed as something, as a...
No, I don't think that there's nothing about a reveal here. It's the justice system. We got to figure out what somebody goes to court, so there's got to be. Either is court somebody gets arrested.
I was thinking prison because all the locks and keys and the handcuffs, everything there is all about being locked up. So that's interesting. Justice system. That's where I was going.
Oh, well, okay, sorry. Then tell me a little bit more about what you were thinking.
Well, no, that's where I was thinking. Was just like, so somebody's going to jail because, being locked up. It's just, he's locksmith. So.
Well, they're going to jail to fix a lock on a prison door, you mean?
Oh, that could be they could be going to the justice system to repair all the locks, maybe.
Oh, well, what if they go to do the locks, but somehow gets locked in with some dangerous criminal. Seems like they would probably.
Do you think that it could be a setup by the shopkeeper again, and they were deceived into going there? There wasn't really a problem, and they end up.
Okay, I like that. So but you would think that the shopkeeper would have to have somebody on the inside to make that happen. So, which is fine.
It's a family member. I don't know. I'm just.
So there's a cosmic entity that's working in the prison system as well, and they've set it up or possessed somebody. We don't know how this is working.
Right. Well, maybe there's just another portal to your basement dimension there.
Yeah. So so they get locked in somehow, maybe they go and it's like all the prison guards get possessed and they lock up Harper and the apprentice.
Right. Because if you had something come out there and everybody's trapped and you're trying to contain it, and
okay, Harper and Kip. Oh God, I can't spell. Harper and Kip. Jeez, where's autocorrect when you need it? Harper and Kip go to fix locks at local prison. Prison guards are possessed and lock up Harper and Kip at the shopkeeper's direction. Is that right?
Well, if they were deceived.
Well, they were deceived because they were told there was a problem.
Right.
But we not have to have a family member. So there's a family member in the prison.
Yes.
So who's the family?
Maybe that's where Kip's parents are. Like maybe Kip's dad is actually a prisoner. That's why,
Dad is in prison. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. Is in prison and guides them.
It's like, there's been a lot of freaky stuff going on lately. So he can lead them to the basement dimension, that needs to be locked up. So.
Well, I don't think it all has to be the basement dimension. I think there can be other dimensions.
I know, but I like the basement dimension. It feels like
the basement dimension kind of. So, but I like the idea that the prison has been transformed into this kind of hellscape. It's sort of like, there's it's the prisoners are all still there,
Right.
but other things are there too.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Um,
it's a perfect
I
like
like this-
hidey hole for all of that too.
I like this being kind of a cliffhanger too, that they don't get out by the end of the issue.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's ideal.
Yeah. There are creatures mixed with the prisoners and guards. Okay. Cliffhanger.
They're trapped.
All right. Hey, we got that done before the thing went off. We're getting better at this, Terrance.
Yeah. Pretty good.
Okay. Nice.
This
Okay.
time I stopped the timer so we don't have to reset the whole screen.
Thank you. Okay. Oh, so when it actually ends, does that actually
Yeah, when it ends, that's what it is. So it's like if
it disappears? It just disappears?
yeah, it shut down. So now, yeah.
Okay. Anyway, sorry about technical difficulties. We're learning how
Only
to
took us, 5 of them to get through.
Well, maybe is there a way? I wonder if there's a way to make the countdown so that it goes off. The sound goes off at 0, but then there's like -1, -2, -3.
You know what I could do is I could edit a new countdown where it just continues.
Oh yeah, it has a little extra space afterward.
Yeah,
That would make sense.
Automatically
make sense.
there.
All right.
Most things your video ends and it just stops at the end.
Yeah.
Not gonna go.
Yeah. So maybe that's okay. Okay, behind the scenes stuff, guys. Okay. All right, we're gonna do plot element for our final issue of the 6-story arc, issue 6. What are our
How will it all end? How's it all going to come together? Will they ever get free? What if it's a tragedy and they don't?
This is turning out to be quite the pot boiler. All right, plot element. An offer is made and is either accepted or rejected.
Ooh.
Okay, says here a wild card for character element. Do you want me to skip to the next thing?
Yeah. What does that mean, wild card?
It just means we can basically make it up what the character element is.
Okay.
The other one is introduce an authority figure. You want to go with that?
I like the wild card more.
Oh, you want to do the wild card? Okay.
Yeah, just I don't know what that actually means, but
it just means we can basically disregard it. Is what it means.
Okay.
So we're not constrained by a character element. Okay, and the setting element says insert the time into the story. Okay, so
well, this
all
is
right.
I mean, the time element could be that they've got, a finite amount of time to get out because they're trapped.
Are we on the clock? You're right.
Oh.
That's one of the possibilities.
Oh, sorry. Every time I look at the clock, it's a second down, but here it's still at 5. So.
All right, we're going. So, yeah, the time element, we could totally have there's a countdown of some sort.
Yeah.
What would the countdown be?
Like before, the summer solstice, or some natural occurrence, like before.
Oh, I like that.
Or something.
So, well, I mean, what's we don't even know what time of year it is.
No.
There was a barbecue, so it must be summer.
Yeah.
So what? The summer solstice?
What is the?
Or is it an equinox? No, this is a summer solstice.
But isn't that the beginning of summer? Isn't the first day of summer?
Okay, let's just magic.
Should I pause the timer?
No, magic holidays.
Magic holidays.
I don't know. I'm just
Harry
summer
Potter
holidays. Harry Potter wiki. That's not good. No, let's just say the summer solstice because we got time limits here. We can change that later. I lost my outline. Here it is. Okay. Countdown to summer solstice. So basically, they have to solve this issue.
Right. Before.
basement dimension overwhelms the Earth dimension.
Yeah. Or like say like all the portals of the basement dimension will open if they don't, like everywhere. Things would be insane.
Okay. An offer is made and is either rejected. So it seems like that makes me think that somebody from the basement. Maybe this is where the shopkeeper reveals who it is.
Makes sense.
And makes an offer, and it's like, well, I can stop this, but you have to pledge allegiance to the Angelic Force 5 or something like that,
Angelic Force 5.
Well, the shopkeeper, I mean, because, we know there are angels and demons looking, we haven't defined them. The angels may be just as nasty as the demons, or vice versa.
But the shopkeeper has been working with this other dimension this whole time, haven't they?
Right, lawnmower outside. Can you hear that?
Sorry. No, I couldn't hear it at all.
Okay, good. So the shopkeeper is.
Shopkeeper's been working with the basement dimension this whole time, so.
We can retroactively change that. It could be the shopkeeper's aware of is manipulating the basement dimension.
Yeah, but
to draw out the clavis.
Just like really unscrupulous.
Totally. Well, because it's like the basement dimension may be small. They may not be like major players. This may actually be small potatoes. They're kind of more servant demons or something that are used as pawns in this greater scheme. And so the shopkeeper could be part of one of the major archangels
dimension or something.
And they're so yeah, I mean, I think that would makes sense. It's sort of like the shopkeeper comes out and maybe still thinks it's the apprentice, It's like the shopkeeper.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Offer to the apprentice and reveals itself to the apprentice. And then maybe the apprentice, well, then the question is, does Harper find out? Does the apprentice go to Harper and say, well, the apprentice would go to Harper and say, the shopkeeper thinks I'm you.
Well, what if it's, they could be at the same time? Like, they could both be there when the reveal happens.
Yeah.
And,
So shopkeeper offers to fix things if the clavis joins his army. Still thinks Pip is the clavis. So does the apprentice maybe Harper says, well, you should accept it, knowing that it's not
right,
but that's the thing, by accepting it, that they sneak in somehow and they solve it on their own,
right? Because
I don't know how that would be, though. I don't know how that would solve things, but I like that as a twist.
Yeah,
that Harper says, go with him.
Yeah,
and I'll save you. And this could be a cliffhanger too, actually. Harper advises.
Because like, what happens when your villain finds out that they've been duped, they've been double crossed?
Yeah. It would actually make sense, It's like, okay, well, we're out of time. So I like that, though. I like that. I think that's actually pretty cool. Okay, so now we've got a 5-minute revision period. Do we want to start now, or okay?
We could, but our timer seems to be on its own loop here.
Stop.